Hello and welcome to Stateline. I'm Ian Henschke. A study released today by Flinders University shows there's a serious shortage of science teachers. What's more, it finds many chemistry, physics and biology teachers aren't qualified in the subjects they're teaching. Leah McLennan has more.
Anita Trenworth teaches special ed kids at Salisbury High School, and they've never been more excited about science.
The biggest change I've seen is the confidence level, and once they've perfected it and they've got their experiment ironed out with all the glitches out the way, they're really eager to show other students, so they're always requesting, can we go show this class or that class, and any opportunity to actually demonstrate it, and that wouldn't have happened 18 months ago.
We got a cool science teacher. She helps us to build stuff, teaches us, and like we make electronics about blind people have a ball and we cut a hole in it and we put this buzzer in there so like they can hear and see it, and yeah, and then they play with it.
So what we've got in here, we know it's water because it's come up as a neutral substance. It's green, so it's pH 7.
Mrs Trenworth recently won a Science Excellence Award for the work she does with these students. But according to a startling new study by Flinders University, short of cloning, there's just not enough science teachers like Mrs Trenworth in South Australia.
Only kidding.
We know that there are shortages of teachers. You know, we know that across the Western world. It's not limited to South Australia, and we've known that for a while. But what we really wanted to find out was what the numbers were in South Australia. To what extent are teachers being asked to teach science subjects that are outside of their particular area of expertise?
Martin Westwell is the director of the Flinders Centre for Science Education in the 21st Century, or Science 21 for short. Its aim is to help governments, educational leaders and industry with decision-making in science education. Professor Westwell has surveyed more than 600 South Australian secondary school science teachers, the people currently teaching teenagers science.
When we asked teachers about their qualifications, you know, what we found was that all teachers are qualified in terms of their education. They've all got an education degree or an education qualification. But what we started to see was that it was really the science qualifications that weren't matching up with what they were being expected to teach.
Martin Westwell has found that in years 8 to 10, 84% of science teachers are qualified. It's a general course. From there, things get worse. 75% of years 11 and 12 biology teachers are qualified in biology. 72% of years 11 and 12 chemistry teachers are qualified in chemistry. But the worst shortage is in years 11 and 12 physics, where just 58% are qualified in the field. And Martin Westwell says that position will deteriorate before it gets better.
When we go to the under 40s and look at the young teachers who are teaching physics, it's in the 30%. It's 39% of teachers who are qualified to do so. So what we're seeing is, yes, we might have an acute problem, a problem for today, but the chronic problem, the long-term problem of getting qualified teachers into our classrooms is already apparent to us.
Anita Trenworth says she's had that experience of teaching outside her qualifications.
You may end up teaching some maths or even a line of health or something that's a real sidestep from where you are. I mean, I've been teaching S&E, I've been teaching maths, I've been teaching sign language, science. So I've had over the years a number of different subjects, and not necessarily in my comfort zone, because we need to fill gaps to make sure we have teachers in front of classes.
Stateline requested an interview with the Education Minister Jane Lomax-Smith. The Minister wouldn't be interviewed, saying she couldn't comment as she hadn't read the Flinders University report. The opposition leader, Isabel Redmond, says it's clear the government hasn't done enough to boost the number of science teachers.
For 7 years this government's been in power, they have been spruiking the mining boom that they expect this state to have. If you'd started getting your extra teachers into place back then, by now we'd not only have more teachers in the system, but we would indeed have the product of that teaching coming through our universities ready to provide the technical expertise that we need in the mines when they start going.
Martin Westwell says there are two short-term fixes. Firstly, giving those teachers working outside their subject areas more support. And secondly, to register teachers in their specialty fields, which is what happens interstate.
And I think what we're going to have to do is to expand the registration system to make sure that we know how many physics teachers, chemistry teachers, biology teachers we've got in the state, and we know how we're using them. And so we can keep an eye, we can keep a strategic view of the workforce, and then to do better workforce planning, and to make sure that we've got teachers coming through who can meet the needs of future students.
The longer-term solution is more people like Esther Dudley. The Flinders University science student is training to be a high school teacher.
Basically, I've always loved science. I think I have one of those personalities that's immediately drawn to wanting to know why something happens or how it works. And basically, I just wanted to be able to transfer the knowledge that I have for science and the passion that I possess for it to other people. I'd love to be able to help others to understand the world around them, and make connections with the natural wonders and technology that they see themselves in every day.
Martin Westwell says without a knowledge of science, people can't make those connections, and that's shortchanging the future.
The decisions that people are going to have to make about their lives, about their health, about their lifestyles are going to be increasingly influenced by science and technology. You know, the sorts of decisions that we're making now about environmental issues. When we make our own decisions about our own lifestyles, they're influenced by the science and technology behind climate change. And so as we get more and more research, as we start to understand the world through the eyes of science and technology, we need our population to be more scientifically literate to make high quality decisions for themselves in their lives.